Okay, so professors, we have seen the decision matrix and the cost benefits analysis, right? Let's move on to the next one, which is root cause analysis. Root cause analysis. Now, it says that this tool of analysis is a method that hey, sorry, I haven't taken tea. If you laugh at me, no problem. The teacher has buns. Okay. This tool of analysis, all those who are laughing, shame on you. This tool of analysis is a methodical approach. A methodical approach used to identify the underlying cause of problems or to detect an issue causing challenges. It systematically investigates and analyzes contributing factors to address the root causes rather than just the symptoms, ensuring more effective and lasting solutions. Techniques like the 5 whys and fishbone diagram are commonly used in the root cause analysis to prevent the reoccurrence of a problem. So, professors, the main thing is that this is a tool you can also use in making decisions, right? And what does it say? It says that your focus should be on the major cause. And you see, this is more or less aligning with the Pareto analysis, which looks at 20% causing major of the problems, right? The intent is to look at what is actually causing the problem. Now, it says you can use the technique like 5 whys. Now, this 5 whys simply means, for example, we say, oh, Mr. Amwa is not teaching well. The question you ask yourself is, why? Then, okay, because he doesn't prepare lesson plan. Then you ask again, why? Because he doesn't have enough time. You ask again, why? So you begin to ask the why until you get to the final and say, okay, so this is actually what is causing all these issues. I don't know if it makes sense to you. For example, the first problem is the business is making a loss of 50,000 Ghana cedi. Then we ask why? Because they didn't make enough sales. We ask again, why? Because the production department didn't produce enough. We ask another why? Because they didn't have sufficient raw materials. So you see that as you ask, by the time you ask the fifth why, you would get to the root cause of the problem. Okay, now the fishbone diagram. This was designed by a Japanese. His name is I think is Ishak. Wow, please forgive me. If I'll go and search for it, assignment. But I think it's Ishakwa or something. He's a Japanese, right? Into managerial, I think his first name is it Jarao Ishikawa or something. Ishikawa, Ishikawa. Yes, you can Google it for Ishikawa. He designed this fishbone. Now, the name fishbone is because the nature of what you do is represented in the skeleton of a fish, right? Let me see if I can draw that on the board for you. So it's like you have all eaten fish before. When you eat the flesh of a fish, you'll be left with something like this. Okay. I said this is the inside, the lateral line, what you call the middle one, the lateral line. And then you have this thing. Some inside like this around it. Those of you who have been chewing fish inside, you know what I'm talking about. It looks like something like this. So what you do is you put the problem here. The problem is at this end. And then all these lines will indicate a category for which you want to find the cause of this problem. Okay, so for example, if it is about bad student performance, what are some of the things that could lead to bad student performance? We look at maybe teachers, incompetent teachers, or maybe unserious student, or maybe bad school management, or so you put all those categories there and beginning to delve deeper into each of them. Okay, but it's represented in a fish bone structure. That's why it has its name, fishbone diagram. Okay. I don't know why I'm going deeper into some of these things, but well, I think my professors will appreciate. Okay. So when you use these techniques, it helps you to dig deeper to identify that original cause of the problem. And I think I love the 5 whys because then you ask why. So for example, your parents come home and then you are sleeping. And then they ask the first why. Why are you sleeping? Then you say, I'm tired. They will ask the second why. Why are you tired? Because I was playing. Then they'll ask, why were you playing? So by the time they get to the fifth one, they will identify the reason why you are sleeping, right? So that is how it works. The root cause analysis. You dig deeper till you get to the final cause of the problem. Please, any question here? Well, I wish that you can apply this in your daily lives as students, okay? For example, you score 60% in mathematics. Then you ask yourself, why? Okay, because I was not able to answer questions on maybe statistics. Then you ask yourself, why? Why can't you answer questions on statistics? Then, okay, I have not been taught statistics. Okay, why have you not been taught statistics? Because when the teacher was in class, I was not around or I was sleeping. So you can identify. If you end there, say, okay, because I was sleeping, that's why I'm getting a bad grade in maths. Okay, so that is the root cause analysis. Let's go to the next one or the last one, which is the Delphi method or Delphi method. This decision-making tool is a structured communication method developed to gather insight from a panel of experts. Pay attention, from a panel of experts through multiple rounds of anonymous surveys. Each round refines the responses, aiming to achieve a consensus on complex issues. The Delphi method helps in controlling feedback and reducing bias, leading to improvement in the accuracy of predictions and the ability to make well-informed decisions. Professors, I think this makes sense. What does it mean? It's a tool that takes the form of a structured communication, okay, developed to gather insight from a panel of experts through multiple rounds of anonymous surveys. Please, do you understand this? It's English now. You should understand. So who is going to share with us his or her understanding of the Delphi method or Delphi method? Prof. Janelle. Prof. Josephine, you haven't spoken today. And where is Prof. Bright? Is Bright the one with the Zoom user? Please, Bright, add it to your name. Prof. Janelle, do you understand this thing? Or whoever understands can tell. Yeah, Janelle, let's hear you if you do.
So please, I don't understand.
Oh, Janelle. Oh, okay. Josephine, would you try?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so say how I understand it is, so maybe as a business, then maybe you have maybe post office or something. Then they will send you a message through letter or maybe your email, which is anonymous. So then they get information from people who are experts to be able to like take useful decisions.
Okay. I appreciate. Prof. Nadom, I think I would implore you to give us your version of this. As you read, what do you get from it? the Delphi method? Or can you give us a pictorial representation of this method?
So please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So please, from my understanding, the Delphi method is used to gather information to later on solve a given problem. So using the fishbone, using the explanation from the fishbone, multiple questions are asked, and the answers to those questions are used to solve the problem.
Okay.
That's how I understand.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to pick more. Ethan, do you want to add yours? Portia, I'll be glad to hear from you too. And then Selicum. Prof. Ethan, you want to share your masculine understanding?
I think mine would be the same as this.
Okay, okay. Well noted. Prof. Portia. I think Portia is chewing some cow meat. Prof. Tina, would you want to share your insight or your thoughts on this one? Okay, Portia. Let me hear from Portia and then Tina, I'll come to you.
Okay, so please, good morning.
Good
So
morning.
please, I understand this method is a method which it's a process which is used in business management to just gather opinions to achieve and to rather should I see to focus the future outcomes. So
okay. Portia, thank you.
Analyze.
No worries, thank you.
That.
I appreciate what you shared. Yes. Thank you. Let me see if I'll pick the last two. Selicum. Okay, Selicum, just yes. Let's hear you.
So, I think what they're trying to say is that it's a structured decision making to use to gather information from a panel of experts through multiple rounds of anonymous surveys. And a survey is like a gathering of people to give their feedback or opinion on something.
Okay.
But I think in this case, the people are not known, like anonymous, so they are unknown.
Okay.
And what's the aim of this method is to reach a consensus, which is also a general agreement on complex or difficult issues.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me pick that. Bright a champon. Unless Bright is not the Zoom user. Bright, can we hear you on this one? Oh, the person just vanished. Oh, Bright is okay. Interesting thoughts there. In fact, I think all of you have put in some bit and puzzle of what this method means. So the key things here is that for this tool, what you do is, okay, you conduct surveys, right? And like Selicum alluded, a survey is simply like, reaching out to people with questions to seek their opinion. But what is significant about this method is that we don't just do surveys with anybody, but to expect a panel of experts. So the people should be knowledgeable in whatever we want to, look at. Okay. And it's not just one survey you do several, the intention is that when you do the first one, the responses you get, based on the responses, you do another one. Based on the response you get again, you do another one. Until you get to a point where you feel that, or you can determine that the experts are seeing each other's view, or are beginning to, as it were, reach a consensus on an issue. For example, I think some companies do this. So, okay. For example, the business is having issues with sales growth. Okay, we are always selling lower capacities, and so we do a survey to probably like 20 sales managers, maybe in different companies, right? So we email them or something with some questions. Okay, maybe how do you improve sales in your company, as one of the questions. And then maybe we add, what will be your recommendations for a business to grow its sales? So each of these sales managers will provide their responses. Normally, it's an open-ended question where you can allow people to put in their opinions. So what happens is that when we gather the first responses from these marketing or sales managers, we begin to check whether they are all agreeing to one thing. If they are not agreeing to one thing, we would refine the questions and send it back to them until we see that they are all beginning to agree. So, for example, we will do it out until we get to a point where all of them are saying, if you want to grow your sales, do more adverts. So that's the intention of this method. Okay, you allow the expert to provide you feedback. Okay, if the feedbacks are not the same, okay, as in they are all giving different views, you refine your questions to the point that you can get the experts pointing to one thing. Okay, and based on what they are all pointing to, you make the decision. So, for example, if all the sales, let me give an example with the sales one. We ask them the first question, which is, what is your opinion about a business who wants to increase sales? And then maybe the first manager says, oh, reduce your price. The second one says, do more adverts. The third one, let me use two. Now we go back to them because they are not agreeing. One is saying reduce the price, one is saying doing adverts. Then we'll go back again and ask, do you think more advertisement will increase sales? Okay, and then maybe the first person who said reduce the price will say, yes, you need to advertise more. Okay, the second one also insists, yes, advertisement is one of the key indicators for you to get your product out there to be sold. Okay, then maybe we refine another question and says, do you think reducing the price of goods actually will increase sales? And maybe the first person who said reduce the price will say, no, it's not entirely the case. It depends on certain factors. So based on all the responses we are getting, we can pinpoint that, well, all of them are saying advertisement is good and it's very good for you to increase your sales. Then we can make the decision that to increase our sales, we need to do more adverts. So that's the intention of the Delphi method or the Delphi method. Another example is like giving students questions anonymously to answer. Maybe how do we ask students what will make students learn? And then some of you will be saying we should do more entertainment. Some will say we should increase the contact hours. So we'll refine the questions until we get majority of students pointing to a particular thing. Maybe let the teachers teach more. Great. So that is about the Delphi method. So professors, we are done with the tools. And please, these things are in your learner manual, so you have to take them serious, okay? The Delphi method, the root cause analysis, cost-benefit analysis, the decision matrix or weighted scoring model, and SWOT analysis, the PEST analysis, and the Pareto analysis. These things are detailed in your curriculum. So please, you can be asked to state 3 tools of decision-making and explain them. Okay, if for nothing, remember Pareto. Okay, now let's finish up with management levels and the decisions that they take. So here, want to look at the levels of management and the kinds of decisions that they take at each level. And this is a pictorial view of the levels of management. As we all know, top level, also known as strategic, middle level, also known as tactical, and the lower level. What type of decision do these people take? Okay, so we'll take the top level. Now, before I look into my slides, professors, what type of decision do you think these managers would take? Oh, I think the thing is even showing on the diagram. Okay, so let's look at the top level management. I think I'll employ one of you to do the reading for me. Prof. Tina, can you read the first one for us? Top level management. Let's see the decisions that they take.
Top level strategic management. Executives, senior managers, directors, and the board of directors.
Okay.
These managers set organizational goals and strategic direction. They formulate long-term plans and policies. They decide on mergers, acquisitions, and major investments for the organization. Top-level managers allocate resources across the organization. They are responsible for establishing corporate culture and values of the business firm.
Thank you very much. So we say that for those at the top level, okay, they take all the strategic policies and plans, okay, of the business. They decide the direction with which the business is going. So they design the vision and the mission of the business. They formulate the long-term plans, okay, the development goals. They do that. The culture, the values of the business, they determine that. And this group of people, as you've seen there, involves the board of directors, right? The senior managers, okay. And well, for the ones that we know in our school, it's always the board and the headmaster and the assistant. In some schools, they don't even add the assistant. It's just the headmaster and the board of directors. They are at the top level. Some schools, they add on the assistant headmaster, and then you have a representative from maybe the academic board, the domestic, the teaching staff, non-teaching staff there, right? They constitute the strategic management, and they decide what the school should do and what the school shouldn't do, right? So even regards to the colors or the uniforms, it's the top level that determine that we should wear green or we should wear red or whatever, right? Okay, so that's the top level. They formulate, or the decisions that they take are more strategic. So they take the strategic decisions. Okay, that's the decisions that can either make the business succeed or fail. They do that. Okay, so any question before we go to the middle level managers, middle level? And I think a lady did the first one. So a gentleman who will do that reading for us. Gentlemen, please, one of you should read for me. I don't want to make a choice. Between Ethan, Nadom, and Augustine Akoli, one of you should do the reading for us. We are waiting.
Sir, please, middle level management.
Ajiman. Okay, Mike, Prof. Ajiman, please do the reading for us. Prof. Ajiman, do the reading.
Middle level tactical management. Department heads, branch managers, and division managers. Middle level managers develop and implement departmental plans and policies. They are to ensure that strategic goals of the organization and translate into tactical plans. They coordinate and supervise low-level managers and staff, allocating resources to various departments. Tactical executives of organization manage budgets and schedule projects.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Mike. So with the middle level managers, they normally take the tactical decisions, right? I don't know why I'm missing words today. Is it because I've not eaten? Or some of you are charming me or something? Please, I beg you, let me speak my English in peace. So tactical decisions are taken by the middle level management. And what does it entail? It's not normally about, making choices about specific, means to implement the plans and policies as formulated by the top level managers. So they determine how to implement or how to put into action the overall goals, the overall plans, the mission and vision as formulated by the top level managers. Okay. And well, in institutions where you can, relate with, like the schools, you have your heads of department in there at the middle level, right? So they take the broad goals of the school and then design specific course of action to achieve them. Okay. So they are more or less like a link between the top and the lower, breaking down the broad goals into simple ones for the lower level to be able to execute, right? Okay. Thank you very much. We'll do the last level, which is the lower level. And we say these people take, operational decisions. Okay. Operational decisions. And what does it entail? Supervisors, team leaders, and first line managers oversee the day-to-day operations and staff activities. Okay. Implementing procedures and work schedules, handling employee performance and discipline, making routine decisions related to production, customer service, and logistics, ensuring compliance with organizational policies and procedures. So you see that when the head of department breaks down the broad, for example, maybe the broad objective of the school is to produce, the best science student in the country. So now the head of department, who is at the middle level, takes this broad goal and begin to look at how we can achieve that. So you see the head of department will be designing, well, then I need a biology teacher, I need a physics teacher, I need a chemistry teacher, right? I need to plan, a schedule for these teachers to be able to teach. Now, when it comes down to the next level, which is the lower level, normally the teachers, okay, they will now be doing the day-to-day teaching and ensuring that you students are learning so that you can become best science student in Ghana. Okay, so they also take what the head of department has broken down. As a matter of fact, I think it even begins with the unit heads. I don't know if you know the unit heads, as in the head of each of the subjects. So biology would have a unit head who will break down whatever themes the HOD have done into simple units and ensure that it is done. So the unit head will ensure that the biology teacher has prepared his lesson note, has gone to class to teach, has set examination questions. And these things are the daily routines of the school. That's why we say the lower level managers are operational managers, because they are seen to the day-to-day operations or activities. Okay. So that's the bit about these levels and the kind of decisions they take. So the top level takes strategic, the middle level take tactical, and the lower level take what? Operational decisions. Please, professors, any question? Okay, so if there are no questions, I think I'll summarize what we've done today. We just saw the remaining tools of decision making, and it's included the decision matrix, also known as the weighted scoring model, where we saw that you set a criteria to compare alternatives, right? And then you assign weights. The weights are normally points. And I give you an example. If teachers want to choose the best student out of the numerous students, okay, they set a criteria. Maybe you should score, you should be the best in the examination or the class assessment or whatever. So they set that criteria and they add weight to each of them. So for example, they say exams, you should score like 100%, or class assessment, you should score maybe 30%. Okay. Now, after setting the criteria, you measure each alternative with the criteria and assign scores. And that's how come they do examinations and class assessment, and maybe Kofi scored 30, Adwa scored 70. And based on those scores, you multiply with the weight assigned to the criteria, right? Well, teachers don't do that multiplication because, of course, what we do is to sum up the exams and the class assessment, and the highest score becomes the best student. Okay, so the only difference is multiplying the score with the assigned weight of the criteria. Okay, but at the end of the day, the decision we take as teachers to choose the best student is in sync with this decision matrix, because we choose the highest score as the best. And this decision too also applies same. You choose the highest score as your best alternative or option. Then we look at the cost-benefit analysis. That one, we've looked at it. You have to assess the cost involved and the benefit you are getting to be able to determine whether option A, B, or C is the best. Okay, and I think I gave an example with investment portfolios. Then root cause analysis. That one, you can use the 5 whys or the fishbone diagram, which was, designed by Ishikawa, that Japanese man. Please go and read about that man, or at least something small. Okay. The 5 whys, you begin to ask yourself why, until you get to the root problem or the root cause of the problem. Okay. So if you are sleeping in class, the first why are you sleeping in class? Because you eat a lot. Then you ask, why do you eat a lot? So you begin to ask why until you land on the final problem or cause. Then the Delphi method, right? We saw the Delphi method, which has to do with giving a survey to panel of experts for them to give their opinion, and you refine it until you reach a consensus. Then we ended with the levels of management, which I think you all appreciate: lower, middle, and top. Thank you, professors. If there are no questions, then I guess I'll be wrapping up for today's class. So I'll just some 20 seconds. If there are no questions, professors, I'll thank you very much for making it in class. Please do well to submit your assignment. I beg you. So those who haven't done it, go back. I'll share the recordings as soon as possible. And if there's no comment, I'll call it a day and say bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Those who don't say bye-bye, I'll appear in your dreams. Say bye-bye. Tina, bye. Ethan, bye. Janelle, bye. Michael, bye.
Bye.
In fact, expect your group assignment very soon. I'm going to do the groupings very soon for you. And please read around law of contracts.